Huh.
Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive, my Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved.
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping that... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are the realm's armies and her larders. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short...
But how would one even...
The armies, my boy. As I told you already. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest, but I do know someone the High Commander's...
I thought he was retired.
He was. Until an Akashic army tore through Rantander's luck.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of... I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course. You don't mind it.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person...
That's this...
I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No. Thank you, Clive.
Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed. course.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will.
His will?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what, and in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything survived them.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called...
And you seek a rare gem, one whose name I had not thought. You've been...
Right is all, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection one such text, being the tome Vivian seeks. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read...
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why? They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executive, you may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders.
Then my hunt was doomed from the... What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft... Alas, I have heard naught from him, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet if you were, by some...
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. Ah, yes. Indeed. Then, having never visited, I make no gap. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. What subject shall we consider today? door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Come on. Faster! village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? His interests were certainly varied. This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks? This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance. So
Subtle, I know.
then we need not waste time on hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it?
That is not my... But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no Would you say that this isn't...
I don't know.
You don't? Your sword may be sharp, but your wits, so let me answer for you. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. It is a question of number. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from knowledge that would bring... That is all. You may keep the book. For now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian.
What are you looking for?
May Gilbert smile upon you. Do you see that too?
Papa? What is it? Please. Stop. I'm scared.
Ready, go? Yeah!
Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please,
This won't...
You're right. Man.
little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal,
No, my lord. Fucking traitors. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so... It's a fucking... You're interfering, my lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw...
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been. But in order to take...
Certainly, you are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end. All right. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army.
Thank you, Field.
But they are not the...
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those... We will need an envoy.
I'm flattered, and I have what we need is a...
Is that so? And would he happen...
Of a different...
I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves.
I shall.
My lord Marquis, your lord uncle bade me as...
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good.
I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin.
Welcome, welcome. Come again.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous. Cyril, you found a letter from father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse. and the founding of it, with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins. Archduke Elwyn saw this as the...
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, nor would he have entrusted his vision to those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to... But one at least remains. And she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, your grace. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house.
I merely did my duty.
My lady, perhaps you could what exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be...
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn...
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching up, alas. He did not live. Indeed, he was taken. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished article, but with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone, I know that nothing would have pleased him more.
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am much...
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from...
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, your grace. In answer to your unspoken question, in fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely...
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Eyes peeled, Joshua. traitors! For House Rossfield. Too slow. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Here, take a look at my wares. Fine choice.
The griffin is...
And the Heartstone.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just... Thank you, my lord. Your father would be...
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be... If you would excuse me. I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bond.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those...
Indeed. But this was more than... It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast custodian of our...
Forgive me, my lady. There is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I tried to warn your father, but when word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled it.
And thank the Founder.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
For coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for...
It is. And we thank you.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop hall? Let him see that you have received...
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix. I prithee claim it, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive.
Ready, go? Faster!
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. Perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Back to the stables, girl. Quentin, I have a proposal.
Do you now? Something? Go on then.
You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they can do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's...
And you'd have me give the people of Lost Wing... You'll have to find...
I'm sorry.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to... We'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons...
It's not...
Then what is it?
You know that.
Then what are you saying? That only why turn your... Who's to say you...
Hey, sir, I fear that...
So you'll join... Field Marshal Havel. I can arrange for a part...
That would be very much... I hear the...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, the Field Marshal has agreed.
Of course he has.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if...
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in good thinking.
I'm glad you...
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion. But luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soul, they'll be...
If I may, gentlemen... Perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are too...
Us?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company are you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not...
Once.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, there will, if the fate of the lies, but the well. Now, for what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Well, that is it. We shall the realm.
I will.
What do you think that thing is?
There's something about it.
Sid, I will...
It depends what...
A bearer. But recently, as you know,
I don't mind, but...
Because our ranks are filled with scouting. And since he accompanied...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the...
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words. I'll let you... And now he is...
No time like that.
No time like the...
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer. Vivian. I found...
You found it. Even though I fear the
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me... He told me something, that the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned, I, too, have always felt so. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse. And that, though my...
Do you still feel that way?
Honestly? Perhaps the result of study. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? All yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go. Always something in there.
What do you think happened?
Sid! With what?
No, it's Miss Very in the...
That's what Well, she does have... Then it's...
You didn't... Don't... But...
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her...
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the... Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First, I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make it. Then I'll need some bone, or shell, like...
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the Cursebreakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project?
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid.
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory. Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember. They must be in...
You were a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please.
Too dangerous. I'll go to...
You will?
I won't let you risk your...
I don't...
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace. Hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the...
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us a rat.
Only if you want. Mid needs a...
Most bone. If it's durable.
I do. Well, any old...
Well, but don't expect...
I'll keep that in mind. Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Those whites will think twice before attacking us.
I've nerve. Well met, Sid. This is your...
Please.
Oh, this...
To become a
I am.
And who would that be?
Gav. No magic it taught me, and I've been training ever since. So...
You clearly have good...
You haven't... Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial...
Ember.
No, my limb. I won't let you...
On my way. All right, Ember. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run!
If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. But...
The garrison said they'd take another 100.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there, Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But he was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy.
The right man. I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what...
Of course. Don't you leave...
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision. Good girl.
Faster!
No holding back. Here we are again. Carava, if you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide? Looks like we found him. If Mid needs another, she can come and get it herself. It's well. After what happened here, it's a miracle. Was any left at all? I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Ready, girl?
Quiet.
That'll do, girl. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry's still here. Disposed of. Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. But where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
You should have seen.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Yeah. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what...
No. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim.
Indeed it is. Thank you for your... The fact remains, all I have gleaned from this trial is that...
Wait, Sergeant. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do...
With a bit of art, but a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that lot wouldn't do...
Fine.
I'll do what... I'll spend my days and nights in the... I'll show you. Just you...
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in it. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, that time the...
Good enough.
Just don't...
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I...
But that's why we... Remember that.
I will...
I hear. Did you
I did.
If I may, the bearer. The director was a brutal man. He got no word.
The registry was... There was no...
I pray all their names are here. My friend, I can still... Children, no explanation.
They'd be happy to know.
But why did I make...
It's not your... See that...
I'm going all of... And in the name...
Neither will I.
These...
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me...
It's most of what I need. After you, and a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Gear's that small are a bastard to make.
Wait, the children... Now that I think about it,
The young'uns? I'll keep working on the model. You go and...
Sid!
She wasn't. She's just...
A new is it in...
Do you think she'll...
just a brass gear.
Oh!
We saved it.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find.
All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's... good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about...
Thanks, Sid.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Well?
They did.
Will it work?
What exactly?
Only the most. The wings aren't gonna... Well, you... That should do it. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad, but it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's, and I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left.
I'm sure you do. What should I do with your model? You spent a lot of time on it. We both did.
What, that old thing? Not healthy to cling to your failures, Clive. They'll weigh you down, you know.
Sound advice.
Still, I suppose my prototypes will probably be worth a fair bit when I'm as famous as Bart's the Builder. Seeing as you're always strapped for coin, suppose I can give it to you. Just make sure you get a good price when you do come to part with it.
I'd say that was up to you as much as me.
All right, Clive.
Make a name for yourself.
You better bloody I'd do and all. Enjoy it while you can, Clive. Imagine that, eh? Till then, though. Try, Clive.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems, and something else.
How did she come?
Finding bearers, and it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, and even...
Leaving them.
Sid, and while I'm well aware, I can't...
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that...
I'm making an exception. We stay no longer than...
Thank you. Chadwick, the thought of him helped.
He must be very important.
He was.
Then we find it.
The entrance to the prison line. We should head...
As do I.
Must we away? I await your word.
You all right? About that. Oi! Let's see.
Something troubling.
It's just...
I'm sure she'll...
Back in the north. Yeah, I'll let the...
So?
Well, the problem is that Ed is due any day now. I don't know if I'll be ready in...
Is there anything I can do to help? All right, then.
A good luck charm.
Not just then.
No. Thing is...
Only the big...
That or...
Well, there's no shortage of those past... I think I might make...
You're a good friend.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak. It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. Lawsman Hippocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes.
You spoke of making amends with Dio.
Then I should begin by telling... This was some years ago, of course. Before I... At that time,
I was counted among the foremost to supervise, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm... Alas, our time together was cut short. When Dion left I had not expected to meet with him again.
Have you spoken with him?
No, His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the...
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't...
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's and I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone. It is one of my greatest regrets, that I only... And what he truly needed, the blame for Dion's transgressions, lies not only on his...
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted innocence. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found, where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt. Where can I find this flower?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might...
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine...
I suppose it's not hard to imagine.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of... To let her know that we still need her. Now more than ever. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Dutch, and Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill?
To see the snow daisies. I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the...
In the rain. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was...
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished...
Man's Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are... What would you do without me, Clive?
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me.
Oh.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though there was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, claiming he was near some guide hovel. Not most.
We'll see.
I'll build a barricade so sturdy, even a bandicoot.
Can I help you?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
I deal in fruit, not fancies. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try Rhiannon's ride.
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes. If you believe the ravings of a madman.
It wouldn't be the first time.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
What are you after? Fare thee well.
Look, Daddy. Shining so brightly.
Whoever's idea it was to take those bearers away.
How do? You've the look of a man who could.
I'm looking.
No word of any.
A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhia. All right. Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change. More tracks. The chocobo was here. And recent. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back together before they change their minds. Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry. To ride from here. There were no guards, I take.
None manning the gate. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with the Kashik. If Chadwick was being held...
Don't give up hope just yet. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thick.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. So this place was no ordinary prison, and I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
Have care. Caution, brother. Have care. Quiet.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that. They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a Kashyyyk down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was...
I know. I've been reading some of these bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this, pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in all, and not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children, and those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was
Don't say that.
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on the...
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right.
Let's see what we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are they...
Some of the guards. They're still here. Everyone else...
Thank the
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger.
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must... What?
He fought the monster. He must have sent you. He promised to free you. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he?
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. But I can't let that happen.
Farewell.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think. What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before he was here.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is...
Chadwick.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope Hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to.
Of course, you already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. So we escaped. After so many years of training,
But Evening kept and he died.
Haida Marie and the curse. I'll fight.
Thank you, Doris.